What is feminist power? Feminist power is expression. It's empathy, it's courage, it's living an authentic self, it's insight, it's being willing to empower others and bring others along. And all of our honorees this evening embody that. Yoko Ono, she has dedicated her life, she's in her 80s, she's dedicated her life to peace. Feminism, I think, is at its root so much about that sort of radical acceptance and radical love and ability to empathize with all people and understand how gender animates us all. Speaking of how gender animates us all, I can't think of anyone who's contributed more to an understanding of gender than our honoree, Dr. Vita Rabinowitz.
If you are female in this country or anywhere in the world, you grow up knowing that your status is not quite that of men. You grow up with certain vulnerabilities. And what being vulnerable is what being unentitled means is that you have a special understanding of the human condition.
These honorees express the diverse feminism that is feminism today. It's an exciting time when feminism isn't about one gender. It's about lifting up all of us and liberating the individual, as well as demonstrating that we're all connected to one another. Because of Caitlyn Jenner, we're having a moment where everybody is learning.
And we think about where we were 2 years ago with this story where I was sort of like, can I tell this story? Will I be able to move through the world with people knowing that my parent is trans? And even like a little bit of shame, I was kind of afraid, and my parent was afraid. And now Kim Kardashian and Khloe and Kendall and Kylie, we're all the same.
She complements and harmonizes with what's already going on in the culture, but adding this really necessary feminist perspective.
And something interesting about my MAPA, Carrie, she could tomorrow go and try to find an apartment, and in 32 states it would be legal for the landlord to look her in the eye and say, we don't rent to trans people. We don't have a trans tipping point yet, we have a trans civil rights problem. So go to transequality.org and vote to pass the Trans Equality Bill. Thank you.
I admire the opportunities that people who work in TV and work in pop culture have for giving us, Americans or the world, a crash course in consciousness raising. And Jill does that every day with her work. Aidan Dowling is here with us tonight. He is poised to become, well, who knows, we'll find out in a week, but potentially the first trans man to grace the cover of Men's Health magazine.
I think if there's one thing you want in life is to do your own thing, to live your authentic self, right? And when you have people who back you up and say, you're doing a good job, you're doing really good, you're just like, you feel great, you know what I mean? And I feel so happy that so many people are supporting. We have heteronormative people all the way down the line of like gender fluid people who are supporting, because, being on that cover will question, the new average, like, what is average, you know? And I think it breaks that barrier.
His YouTube videos that he's created over the last several years have provided support and community for hundreds of thousands of people. It was so exciting a couple of years ago when Chirlane McCray became First Lady of New York City, because I saw in her a truly modern First Lady. She embodies and personifies the complexity of New York.
I wrote the article 33 years ago because I believe it's so important to speak out for what's important to you, no matter how your words might be twisted or turned. It's important because when you verbalize something, you put it out there for people to deal with, right? Your silence will not protect you.
Can we have any all-male institution and not have violence and war? Come on.
All right.
Right? Can we? We need more. We need to balance things out.
When we choose our honorees, it's not just because of the contributions that they've made to society this year. It's not just because we believe in them. It's because we know they believe in us, that they believe in the power of feminist publishing, and that books do change lives, and that they change the world.